I came to South Beach, I just grabbed her, and she'll tell you the same story. I just grabbed her for 3 days, then Aaron's got on a with an apostrophe S.
Yeah.
Like it's Aaron. I like for them to see how I like if you speak to Jodeci or Puffy or any of them, they been at my house, they all see me they all know I'm a big everybody know my son's mother. Everybody know that so
yeah, that's Glory, and tell them about it.
And she'll tell you the same story. I just grabbed her for 3 days, then Aaron's got on a with an apostrophe S.
Yeah.
Like it's Aaron.
I mean,
with
it was
3
like
colors on it.
Yeah, crazy glue. I
and
mean,
my whole
Cassie has already proved that Puff is capable of doing what this girl said.
As if Diddy is not already having a bad year, Aaron Hall seems to have exposed the hip-hop mogul's shady ways, and fans were not even shocked to hear what he had to say. So, what exactly did he say? Amid the shocking allegations, social media users have dug up an old clip of Hall speaking on his sexual preferences. In the clip, he claims that he prefers to have S in public, allowing others to see how he gets intimate. He went on to say that his claims could be corroborated by a number of his friends, including Diddy.
I like for them to see how I like if you speak to Jodeci or Puffy or any of them, they been at my house, they all see me they all know I'm a big
Meanwhile, fans were not happy about the interview. It's the way Aaron Hall's uncouth bragged about Diddy being in the room while he did his business. He's gross AF too, wrote an ex-user. In another portion of the interview, the former Guy band member rehashed how he met former model Gloria Velez. I just grabbed her hand and went inside the hotel and gave it to her. I ain't know she was a puppy. She was tall, big, blonde hair. I was like, I'm getting that, said Hall about Velez, who was a teenager during the encounter. The pair welcomed a son when Velez was 17 and Hall was in his 30s. Anyway, one person who has spoken about Aaron Hall's statements is Gene Deal. In a recent interview, the former bodyguard and insider in the hip-hop industry brought forth disturbing allegations against music mogul Diddy and R&B artist Aaron Hall.
Gloria Velez herself, you know, she told me that he was dealing with her when she was 16 years old. I think she made a statement to everybody else.
Gene Deal also recounted an incident where Gloria Valda confided in him about her involvement with Aaron Hall when she was just 16 years old.
He said, well, Gene, I'm gonna get you 10 minutes to get him out of here. I said, bruh, give me 5, and he out of here. So Gloria Velez was with us. So then she gonna say, you gonna let your bodyguard?
This revelation came during a Thanksgiving dinner while Deal was providing security for Scott Storch. Valda had received a Cartier watch as a gift from Scott. Following this, Hall, through his bodyguard, expressed intentions to confront Scott due to jealousy.
One of my dudes who, you know, he's a Crip, he came over to me, he said, yo, Gene, my dudes is gonna come do something to your man.
What's more, Deal drew attention to previous allegations against Diddy, citing a lawsuit filed by singer Cassie, who accused Diddy of Cassie's legal victory in the case added weight to the credibility of the recent accusations against Diddy and Hall. Deal asserted that these revelations were not isolated incidents, but symptomatic of a broader pattern of abuse within the entertainment world. The interview delved deeper into Aaron Hall's history of alleged misconduct, with Deal recounting a conversation he had with Gloria Velez, who claimed that Hall engaged in sexual activity with her when she was just 16 years old. Deal highlighted the disturbing circumstances surrounding their encounter, including Hall's knowledge of Velez's age and his purported attempt to take her to Jamaica without proper consent. Furthermore, Deal provided insight into the culture of exploitation and misconduct prevalent in the music industry. He recounted witnessing instances where influential figures, including Diddy and Hall, engaged in questionable behavior, indicating a pattern of disregard for the well-being of women. Of particular concern were Aaron Hall's past remarks boasting about the size of his genitals, allegedly in the presence of Diddy. Deal dismissed these comments as indicative of a larger issue within the industry, where such behavior was normalized and even celebrated. Anyway, another person who commented on Aaron Hall's words was rapper 50 Cent. In an Instagram post made in November, the G-Unit mogul shared a video of the When You Need Me singer sitting down with Vlad TV in the early 2000s. He captioned his post, "Well, there you have it, folks. The man said he liked to go behind the little man so he can knock the lining out the MF, just didn't get permission this time." 50 Cent's comments came in the wake of a third SA lawsuit filed against Diddy, brought by two women who alleged that the bad boy mogul and Aaron Hall forced them to have S back in 1990 or 1991. In fact, one of the women filed an amended complaint in March, claiming for the first time that she was 16 years old the night of the alleged assault. In her updated filing, signed by lawyer Tyrone Blackburn, plaintiff Liza Gardner also claims that she has a letter from her therapist and an affidavit from a friend stating that she recounted the alleged assault during conversations in 2014 and 2019, respectively. The full statements from the third parties were not made public Tuesday, but Blackburn tells Rolling Stone they will be disclosed when the case begins discovery. As my records indicate, on February 18, 2014, my client disclosed that she was RA'd by two males in New York when she was 16 years of age, the therapist purportedly writes in the letter excerpted in the amended complaint. It is my professional opinion that the trauma of being RA'd by two men accounted for much of her ongoing symptoms of hypervigilance, anxiety, panic attacks, and episodes of depression, all symptoms indicative of PTSD. The new complaint also adds more details to the original lawsuit first reported on Thanksgiving Day 2023, the deadline for lawsuits filed under New York's Adult Survivors Act, the legislation that opened a one-year window for survivors to sue their abusers and the institutions that protected sexual predators. In her new paperwork, Gardner reveals that the previously unidentified musicians who allegedly brought her to the MCA party were members of the R&B group Jodeci. Gardner states that she was close friends with the group and that Combs had been assigned to help develop Jodeci during his tenure at MCA's Uptown Records. The new filing reiterates the broad outlines of the alleged assault, including Gardner's claim that Combs forced himself on her and RA'd her during an after-party at Hall's apartment. It also adds more detail, describing what Gardner was wearing that night, a black skirt and button-up blouse, and how Combs allegedly coerced her into after giving her alcohol despite her young age. She recalls Combs mounting her and forcing up her skirt, pulling her underwear to the side and forcefully penetrating her, the amended complaint states. After Combs finished doing his business, Miss Gardner laid in bed, shocked and traumatized. As she was in the process of getting dressed, Hall barged into the room, pinned her down, and forced Miss Gardner to have sex with him. In both complaints, Gardner alleges that Combs and Hall also took turns having sex with her friend in another room. The friend is not identified. Upon information and belief, when Combs finished with Miss Gardner, he and Hall switched, and they commenced intercourse with Miss Gardner's friend, both complaints state. The new complaint updates the timeline after that, saying it was the following day that Combs allegedly arrived at Gardner's doorstep and began assaulting and choking Miss Gardner to the point that she passed out. Combs previously denied Gardner's claims in a statement from a spokesperson. These are fabricated claims falsely alleging misconduct from over 30 years ago and filed at the last minute. This is nothing but a money grab. Because of Mr. Combs' fame and success, he is an easy target for anonymous accusers who lie without conscience or consequence for financial benefit, the spokesperson said back in November. The New York legislature surely did not intend or expect the Adult Survivors Act to be exploited by scammers. The public should be skeptical and not rush to accept these bogus allegations. Gardner is one of 5 plaintiffs to sue Combs with allegations of SA in recent months. The first to step forward was Cassie Ventura, the R&B singer who filed a blockbuster complaint on November 16th alleging RST and repeated beatings. In the lawsuit, she alleges that Combs controlled nearly every aspect of her life, from her career to having access to her personal medical records. She claims he was frequently violent, using her multiple times a year, and that he often plied her with copious amounts of. The complaint also claims that Combs forced Ventura to have with male workers in different cities, encounters she says he watched to and recorded. The singer says she never went to the police because she was afraid that doing so would merely give Mr. Combs another excuse to hurt her. She also alleges that following a dinner in 2018, Combs forced himself into her apartment and RA'd her while she repeatedly said no and tried to push him away. Ventura says she ended the relationship for good afterward. In her lawsuit, she referred to multiple witnesses who saw the abuse take place. One of them is her friend, singer-songwriter Tiffany Red, who wrote an open letter to Combs describing an incident on Ventura's 29th birthday party in 2015. Ventura and Red claim that that night, Combs and his security team forced Ventura to leave because he wanted her to have sexual encounters with other men. Red said Ventura had disclosed to her at the time that Combs would physically AB her. I feel compelled to show up for Cassie and myself and confirm that everything she described in her complaint about what happened that night is consistent with what I experienced, she wrote. In a statement to the New York Times, Combs' lawyer Benjamin Brafman said Combs denied the allegations and that the lawsuit was riddled with baseless and outrageous lies, aiming to tarnish Mr. Combs' reputation and seeking a payday. Ventura and Combs settled the lawsuit one day day after it was filed. The details remain private. Braffman said that the settlement is in no way an admission of wrongdoing. "I have decided to resolve this matter amicably on terms that I have some level of control," Ventura said in a statement. "I want to thank my family, fans, and lawyers for their unwavering support." Meanwhile, Combs said, "We have decided to resolve this matter amicably. I wish Cassie and her family all the best. Love." Another woman, referred to as Jane Doe in the complaint, filed a fourth lawsuit on December 6th, alleging that Combs, his longtime Lieutenant Harve Pierre, and a third unidentified assailant gang raided her at Combs's Manhattan recording studio in 2003 when she was 17 years old. Pierre, who previously served as president of Combs's Bad Boy Entertainment, has also been sued by a former assistant who alleges he used his position of authority as plaintiff's boss to exploit and SA her several times between 2016 and 2017. The lawsuit claims that the men trafficked Doe across state lines from Detroit to New York City on a private jet, plied the teenager with and alcohol until she couldn't consent, and then violently assaulted her as she told them to stop. The complaint also includes several photos that Doe alleges were taken at the studio on that night, including one where she is sitting on Combs' lap. In February, Combs' former producer and videographer filed a federal lawsuit against the mogul, alleging Combs sexually harassed and threatened him. According to the lawsuit, Rodney Lil Rod Jones worked on Combs' most recent album, Love, and lived with him between September 2022 and November 2023. Jones alleges he was the victim of constant unsolicited and unauthorized groping and touching of his anus by Mr. Combs. On one occasion, the lawsuit claims, Jones woke up and disoriented in bed with Combs and two workers. He alleges the music mogul drugged him. The complaint also claims that in his role as Combs' videographer, Jones secured hundreds of hours of footage and audio recordings of Mr. Combs, his staff, and his guests engaging in serious illegal activity. The illegal activity the suit alleges includes acquiring soliciting workers, providing laced drinks to minors, and SA. Jones's suit names several other defendants, including Combs' son Justin, Combs' chief of staff Christina Coram, Universal Music Group CEO Sir Lucian Grange, and former Motown Records CEO Ethiopia Habtemariam. Combs' lawyer Sean Hawley denied Jones's allegations. "We have overwhelming, indisputable proof that his claims are complete lies," she told People. In April, a separate lawsuit was filed against Combs' son Christian Combs, in which a woman alleged that the 26-year-old her and her on a yacht chartered by the music mogul in December 2022. The suit also names Combs as a defendant. In her complaint, Grace O'Marcaigh accused the rapper of aiding and abetting his son, alleging that he is liable as the person who chartered the boat. O'Marcaigh, who worked on the yacht as a steward, also claimed she witnessed partying and use between celebrities and constant rotation of suspected workers. In his suit, Jones says that he feared Combs was him, and that fear became a reality when actor Cuba Gooding Jr. allegedly assaulted him during an outing on the music mogul's yacht. The actor began touching, groping, and fondling Mr. Jones' legs, his upper inner thighs near his groin, the small of his back near his buttocks and his shoulders. The complaint alleges Mr. Jones was extremely uncomfortable and proceeded to lean away from Mr. Gooding Jr. He rejected his advances, and Mr. Gooding Jr. did not stop until Mr. Jones forcibly pushed him away. An amended version of the lawsuit filed in late March names Gooding Jr. as a defendant, People reported. Following all the lawsuits, on March 25th, federal agents raided the music mogul's residences in Los Angeles and Miami. NBC News reported that the search warrants are connected to a federal investigation into allegations of SA, and the solicitation and distribution of illegal narcotics and firearms. Federal agents in New York have also spoken with at least 4 Jane Does and 1 John Doe as part of the investigation, with more interviews to come. In a statement, Combs' attorney Aaron Dyer said there was a gross overuse of military-level force during the execution of the search warrants. Mr. Combs was never detained but spoke to and cooperated with authorities. Despite media speculation, neither Mr. Combs nor any of his family members have been arrested, nor has their ability to travel been restricted in any way, he said. While authorities have not said whether Combs is a subject of the alleged ST investigation, Dyer connected the raids to the lawsuits against the rapper. This unprecedented ambush, paired with an advanced, coordinated media presence, leads to a premature rush to judgment of Mr. Combs and is nothing more than a witch hunt based on meritless accusations made in civil lawsuits, he said in the statement. There has been no finding of criminal or civil liability with any of these allegations. Mr. Combs is innocent and will continue to fight every single day to clear his name. In an Instagram post, Misa Hilton, Combs's former partner and mother of his son Justin, shared video footage of Justin and Christian Combs being detained during the raid and denounced the agent's excessive use of force. She added that an attorney is looking into the agent's conduct. The overzealous and overtly militarized force used against my sons Justin and Christian is deplorable, she wrote. If these were the sons of a non-black celebrity, they would not have been handled with the same aggression. The attempt to humiliate and terrorize these innocent young black men is despicable. One of Combs's associates, who was described in Jones's lawsuit as Mr. Combs's mule, was arrested on the same day at Miami's Opa-locka airport when law enforcement searched a plane linked to the music mogul. Brendan Paul was charged with one count of possession of suspected cocaine and another of possession of suspected candy, according to an affidavit obtained by TMZ. The arrest was not related to the raids, the outlet reports. In any case, following all this legal drama, several brands have chosen to cut ties with the hip-hop mogul. In late November, Diddy temporarily stepped down as chairman of Revolt, the media company he founded in 2013. While Mr. Combs has previously had no operational or day-to-day role in the business, the company said in a statement, this decision helps to ensure that Revolt remains steadfastly focused on our mission to create meaningful content for the culture and amplify the voices of all Black people throughout this country and the African diaspora. Capital Prep Harlem, a charter school he opened in 2016, also announced it would end its partnership with the music mogul. At least 18 companies that were partnering with Diddy's e-commerce website, Empower Global, have dropped the platform. Meanwhile, a new reality show featuring Combs, which was in the early stages of development at Hulu, has also been scrapped following the allegations. The show, tentatively titled Diddy Plus 7, would have followed Combs and his family. And Salksco, which managed Diddy as an artist, no longer lists him as a client on its website. Anyway, just like Diddy, it seems like Aaron Hall is officially off the charts, but his bizarre behavior isn't anything new to those who've known him for years. From accusing R. Kelly of stealing his swag in the early 90s, which is up for debate, to calling his former bandmate producer Teddy Riley a square, Aaron Hall has been very vocal about his qualms with other R&B singers. To put things in perspective, Aaron's bizarre behavior has been caused by a series of unfortunate circumstances in his life. Aaron not only survived being the victim of a shooting, but he also survived being stabbed. To make matters worse, Aaron witnessed his mother get run down by a drunk driver on Christmas Day, as well as endured the pain of losing his firstborn son shortly after birth, which he says inspired his 1993 ballad, I Miss You. He's also had multiple run-ins with the law, which includes catching a case for assault in 1995, eventually leading him to serve 11 months in New York City's Rikers Island prison for a probation violation. He's also had several very public court battles with former video vixen Gloria Velez, who is the mother of his son, who he hasn't seen in 15 years. Aaron Hall, born on August 10, 1964, stands as a prominent figure in the realm of American music, renowned for his soulful vocals and profound contributions as a singer and songwriter. His journey into the spotlight began in 1988 when he emerged as a founding member of the pioneering R&B and New Jack Swing group Guy. Alongside Teddy Riley and Timmy Gatling, later succeeded by his brother Damian Hall, Aaron Hall laid the foundation for a musical legacy that would resonate through the decades. The roots of Aaron Hall's musical prowess trace back to his upbringing in the vibrant boroughs of New York City. Born in the Bronx and raised in Brooklyn, he was deeply immersed in the rich tapestry of Black American gospel traditions from a tender age. This immersion was courtesy of his father, Aaron Hall II, a revered pastor in the local community. Under his father's guidance, young Aaron learned to appreciate the power of music as a means of spiritual expression and connection. His exposure to the dynamic rhythms and emotive melodies of gospel music laid the groundwork for his future endeavors in the music industry. Despite his early affinity for music, Aaron Hall's path to success was not without its challenges. As a child, he grappled with a speech impediment that persisted into adulthood, hindering his ability to articulate his thoughts and express himself verbally. This obstacle, however, only fueled his determination to excel in other areas of of his life. Drawing upon his innate passion for animals, Hall found solace and purpose in the world of dog training, where his ability to communicate transcended the limitations of speech. In the company of his beloved canine companions, he discovered a sense of fulfillment and belonging that would sustain him through the trials and triumphs of his musical journey. The pivotal moment in Aaron Hall's career came in the late 1980s when fate intervened in the form of a fateful encounter with his friend and future bandmate, Timmy Gatling. Bonding over their shared love of music, Gatling introduced Hall to Teddy Riley, a visionary producer and musician on the cusp of revolutionizing the R&B landscape with his innovative blend of soulful melodies and hip-hop beats. Recognizing Hall's exceptional vocal talent, Riley saw in him the potential to bring a unique voice to the burgeoning new jack swing movement that was sweeping the nation. Thus, Guy was born, a musical powerhouse that would leave an indelible mark on the music scene of the late 1980s and early 1990s. With Hall at the helm as lead vocalist, the group unleashed a string of hits that captivated audiences and catapulted them to stardom. From the infectious grooves of Groove Me to the heartfelt balladry of Piece of My Love, Hall's soul-stirring vocals became the hallmark of Guy's signature sound. Their eponymous debut album, released in 1988, achieved platinum status, solidifying their status as icons of the era. Despite their meteoric rise to fame, the journey was not without its share of trials and tribulations. Personal and professional conflicts led to the departure of Timmy Gatling from the group, but Hall remained steadfast in his commitment to the music. Alongside his brother Damien and Teddy Riley, he continued to push the boundaries of R&B, forging ahead with a relentless passion for his craft. In the years that followed, Aaron Hall's musical legacy continued to evolve as he ventured into solo endeavors and collaborations with other artists. His distinctive voice and charismatic stage presence endeared him to audiences around the world, earning him a devoted following and critical acclaim. Despite the passage of time, his influence on the music industry remains undiminished. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.